Hi everyone, this is Megan Friedel from the Wisconsin Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired, and today I'm just going to share a couple tips and tricks with you for when you're measuring while cooking. This video will be split into two parts. Part 1, measuring dry ingredients, and Part 2, measuring wet ingredients. As always, before you handle food, be sure to pull your hair back or put on a baseball cap if you have long hair, roll up your sleeves if you're wearing a long sleeve shirt, and wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. Measuring is a really important skill to have in your toolbox because it opens the doors for new recipes. As always, when you're cooking, define your workspace. I'm going to be doing that today with a cake pan. Another thing that I'll have with me while I'm measuring is a clean and damp cloth to wipe my hands off in case they get dirty. And I also want you to remember, if you're following along with me, have fun and don't worry about spills. Practice makes perfect. Part 1, measuring dry ingredients. And it's much easier if you use a set of containers to store your dry goods in. So I'm going to transfer this bag of sugar into this airtight storage container. And so I'm going to open the bag. I am pouring over my cookie sheet in case I make a mess. I'm holding one hand on the container to hold it still, and the other hand I'm using to pour the sugar into the canister. What I also like about these storage canisters is that they have a nice flat top, so you could easily write with a black marker or use a braille label to identify what you have in your canister. A lot of times when you're baking, you have a lot of white ingredients. You have baking soda, baking powder, sugar, flour, and they're all white. So it's really important to know which ingredients you're working with. When measuring dry ingredients, rest your thumb on the ridge of the measuring cup to ensure it is completely full after scooping. Pictured is my thumb resting on the ridge of the measuring cup. Once you have scooped up your ingredients with your measuring cup, it is likely that you have actually overfilled your measuring cup. To ensure you have the exact amount, take a butter knife. Find the flat, smooth side of it and level off your ingredients by grazing over the top of the measuring cup. To ensure you don't waste any ingredients, do this step over top of the canister or storage container that you're keeping your ingredients in. That way, they will go directly back into the can. In the video, you can see me doing this with flour. When you're measuring dry ingredients, sometimes you're going to have some ingredients that come in smaller size containers. Some examples of this are spices and baking soda. One tip that I have for measuring out spices or baking soda or any dry ingredient is pour more than you need into a small ramekin. You can see me doing this on the video. Then, once you've poured your ingredient into the small dish or the small ramekin, go ahead, measure out what you need, level it off with your knife just as we did earlier. Put your ingredient into whatever you're cooking, then come back and take a funnel. You're going to insert the funnel into the container that you took the ingredients from and pour the remainder of the ingredients from your bowl back into the original container. And remember, we're going to do this all over the cake pan to ensure that anything that does not go back in the container goes back into the cake pan so we don't make a big mess. When you're measuring liquids, it's often easier to use dry measuring cups than liquid measuring cups because you're going to have an easier time knowing that it's full to the exact amount that you need. frequently as a natural sweetener. I find that it is easiest to take the honey right from the jar and have it in like a squeeze bottle like this. Open your honey up and squeeze it directly into your measuring utensil. Don't try to scoop it out because it's very thick and sticky, and you might have more of a mess than had you just squirted your honey into the measuring utensil. Again, use a thumb to make sure that you have enough honey in your measuring spoon. All right, so the last thing that we're going to talk about today is butter. So I think everyone knows that butter makes everything taste better. So each stick of butter comes with 8 tablespoons of butter in it. Also, that also converts into a half of a cup. So depending on what your recipe calls for, you may need more than 1 stick of butter, or you may not even need a whole stick of butter. Now, parents and teachers, one thing that you can do to let students start to learn about like how much butter makes up 2 tablespoons or 3 tablespoons is on the lines that are printed on the butter wrappers, take a butter knife, just like I'm doing, and very gently make notches into those lines. Then let your child or student run their hands over and feel where those notches are. That will give them a good idea of about how much butter is 1 tablespoon, and then if they count up to 4, they can see that that is 1/4 of a cup, and then talk about how a whole stick is 1/2 of a cup. Thank you for watching.